Boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, Jack Black has been an icon and kind of a staple of modern culture for quite a while. Tenacious D kind of hit the scene out there with a lot of really funny comedies out there. And of course, you know, the greatest song in the world, A Tribute, was an absolutely hilarious music video and really kind of put them all out there on the main stage for a long time. And of course, this ended up working out really well for Jack Black. He's had a great career throughout Hollywood, doing a lot of great comedy movies out there. I mean, Nacho Libre was actually pretty funny. And normally, though I'm not into that kind of humor, the guy's done a lot of very successful things and has gone really well. And of course, Tenacious D has been right there along the side of his career, pumping out videos and putting out more music videos and honestly just having a lot of fun with all that kind of stuff out there. And one of those situations that we've seen time and time again, boys and girls, is over the years, the more time people spend in Hollywood, the more time they spend in that bubble, the more often than not their thinking, their mind, and their thoughts just end up getting changed. And a lot of the things that end up coming out of their mouths, especially on social media or on platforms at the moment's notice, because they feel like they got to stick with the in crowd and kind of go with whatever way the wind is moving at the time. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that ends up coming out to a lot of really dumb things that people think are probably okay to say at the time. But at the end of the day, the kind of backlash, the kind of cultural reinforcement of what is actually acceptable in society is something they will end up finding themselves facing a lot of time for saying something maybe off the cuff or something ridiculous or they thought was a good idea at the time. And ladies and gentlemen, Jack Black's Tenacious D has done exactly that after the absolutely tragic incidents that happened over the weekend, and things are not going very well for it. And a lot of people are pushing back against this, and rightly deserved. Stuff like this is not allowed, no matter what the kind of tragedy that's going on. Doesn't matter what your politics, how your politics lay. This is unacceptable behavior, and it's something that should not be joked about in any way, shape, or form. And guess what? This kind of behavior, this kind of language is exactly what's led to the tragic events over the weekend, because there's been so much absolutely insane rhetoric out there. And there's just so much untruths that have been pushed time and time again in headlines that people simply don't do their research and end up going through and thinking a bunch of crazy and insane things. It's like the old saying from Reagan, it's not that our Democratic friends are stupid, it's that they believe so much stuff that is simply untrue. And ladies and gentlemen, I think that's exactly what we're finding ourselves happening more often than not with people that live inside the Hollywood bubble. So we're going to check out this article from That Park Place, getting all of the juicy details of exactly what Jack Black's Tenacious D has said live on studio, and we even have the video to confirm it, ladies and gentlemen. But before we do, if you do enjoy our content, hit that like button, share with all your friends, and subscribe and or follow if you have not already, because we're almost 800 on Rumble, and we're all marching our way straight towards 900 over there on YouTube, and I could not do that without every single one of you. Also, leave us a comment down below. Do you think this is Tenacious D is a proper representation of Tenacious D? Do you think this is just more of the Hollywood bubble nonsense, or do you think Tenacious D has gone full woke acolytes of the cult? Let me know what you think about all this down below. So from thatparkplace.com, from our dear sweet John F. Trent. After assassination attempt on Donald Trump's life, Jack Black's Tenacious D wishes don't miss Trump next time. Oh, yes, boys and girls. Now imagine the insanity. Imagine the backlash that would have come from Hollywood at the time if somebody would have said this exact same thing about Barack Obama, or even go to the modern day nowadays. Imagine 2 or 3 years ago, back before the entire world realized and was forced to admit the fact that our current president is an absolute shell of the man he once was. Imagine someone coming out there and saying something like this about Biden after an attempt on his life, especially at a tragic event where people actually did end up losing their lives. Think about the kind of pushback that would have come back out of a conservative celebrity if somebody like that would have said something like this. That if the other side didn't have double standards, ladies and gentlemen, they'd have no standards at all. So following an assassination attempt on former President Donald Trump, Jack Black's Tenacious D wished, don't miss Trump next time. An assassination attempt to kill former Donald President Trump while the president was at a campaign rally in Butler, Pennsylvania, outside of Pittsburgh. The assassin's bullet failed to kill President Trump, but pierced his ear. While he failed to assassinate President Trump, he did murder Corey I apologize, Corey, for mispronouncing your last name, brother. Rest in peace, man. My best wishes go out to you and your family, and you are in our prayers, I promise. But did murder Corey, who used his body to shield his wife and daughter, who were at the rally with him. Absolute hero. The assassin was also wounded David Dutch and Jays Copenhaver, according to the Pennsylvania State Police. And of course, the assassin was taken out by Secret Service as well, in case you guys hadn't heard. So at a concert event for their Spicy Meatball Tour in Sydney, Australia, the band celebrated the birthday of member Kyle Gass with Black singing Happy Birthday and a birthday cake being delivered by a man in a robot costume. Black then informs Gass to make a wish. And here's the video for you, boys and girls, right here for you, live in living color, right here for you. If we can get it to play again. There we go. And then obviously you can see Jack there, just got finished singing Happy Birthday. He asked him to make a wish. You can see the robot right there on stage. And of course, the other half to Tenacious D besides Jack Black.
Don't miss Trump next time.
Don't miss Trump next time. So not only is this guy saying something that is absolutely irreprehensible and unacceptable in any modern society, in any respectable, in any kind of courtesy, morality, station whatsoever, not only is he doing this and saying something stupid, proving that he's completely and totally possessed by the spirit of the age and completely and totally broken by TDS, but also he's doing this in a foreign country. Now, I don't know about you guys. I don't know about you boys and girls out there, but I'm old enough to remember that when a certain little group of female country singers, i.e. the Dixie Chicks, did this exact same thing with President Bush over in England, I'm pretty sure their music was no longer played on country music stations. Now, given that was during a much different time, the culture was much different back then, and things have gone completely and totally insane in them, but why wouldn't the same kind of thing be applied today? Oh, that's right, because the acolytes of the cult and those possessed by the spirit of the age have completely taken over every single cultural institution we have, and the majority of all the rest of our institutions as well. And ladies and gentlemen, this kind of stuff is thought to be allowed to be okay, is allowed to be allowed. And well, guess what? We're just not going to put up with it. And of course, you think, well, maybe this is just Jack Black's partner. Maybe Jack Black doesn't think like this. Less than a month ago, Black endorsed President Joe Biden, saying, when democracy is at stake, Jack Black answers the call. Mr. President, you're welcome. Yes, because boys and girls, their democracy is at stake. If President Trump ends up getting reelected again, which most likely he will be, especially after what happened over the weekend, there is no doubt whatsoever that they are terrified that they will lose all of their power and control and lose all of the levers and cultural rot gut that they have instituted inside of every one of our major institutions and aspect of our entire world out there. That's what they are terrified. He might actually drain the swamp like he promised to so very long ago. And boys and girls, and of course we can go back to Jack Black being involved in Disney Star Wars for a bunch of identity politics, or just more nonsense and just more BS over and over and over again. He even claimed that the election cycle would be scary. This guy is clearly somebody who is possessed by the spirit of the age. He is clearly someone who is totally in line with all of the advocates of the cult and has no problem using his stardom and using his stuff to push a particular political agenda. And guess what? I don't have a problem with Hollywood stars going out there and getting their political opinions heard. I think it's a stupid mistake on most of their parts, because you end up going to ostracize one portion of your fan base one way or another. At the end of the day, like Michael Jordan said, Republicans buy shoes too. It is always best for celebrities and people like this to keep their mouths out of politics. But at the end of the day, if you're going to put your words out there, if you're going to put your mouth out there and let it be known to everybody out there what you think, well, guess what? Expect political backlash, expect pushback, and expect people not to put up with it. Jack Black and Tenacious D should absolutely be shamed for putting out kind of nonsense like this, saying these kind of stupid things, and that's exactly what they deserve, because guess what? Rhetoric like this is exactly what caused the tragic events that happened over the weekend, and I will not be quiet about that, boys and girls. So Jack Black, rein in your boy, because you're all saying some really dumb things, and ain't none of us going to put up with it, because guess what? At the end of the day, the other side buys your music too, and I don't think this is going to end up very well for you or the future of Tenacious D in any way, shape, or form.